Welcome to Friday Freebies, a new section on the channel that demonstrates great free tools you can use as a web designer. So these are going to cover a broad range of different topics. Today, we're taking a look at something that's kind of boring, but it is necessary when you're working with WordPress, and that's a database cleaner. I know you're probably thinking, Paul, you're in the city. Well, guess what? You do need to have something like this if you have a site that's ongoing and you do start to build up a lot of that sort of background rubbish that slows your database down. So let's take a look at this free plugin. So today we're checking out Database Cleaner by Meow Apps. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about how you use this. David McCann from WebTNG has already done a 20-minute deep dive into how you use the actual plugin itself. Just the free version. There is a pro or premium version. We're not going to look at that. I think in most use cases, you probably don't even need those pro features. But check out David's video, link down below, if you want to learn a lot more about the different options available inside this plugin. So I've installed it on a test site. I've got some sample data inside just so we can see some of the results. And let me just quickly go through what this does and why you may want to check it out. So databases, as we know, lots of stuff builds up in there when you add posts, pages, revisions, comments, all those kinds of things. They take up database resources. And the bigger your database gets, the slower it becomes. So cleaning it is a sensible thing. But one very important caveat right now before we even take a look at any options here. Before you use anything in any kind of database cleaner, please do make sure you create a full backup of your website before you make changes, just in case something goes wrong and you kill your website. You have been warned. Don't come back and moan to me if things go pear-shaped. Okay, so what do we have in here? We have two modes. You have the easy mode, which is what we can see right now, and you have an advanced mode. Advanced mode opens up some more options. We'll take a quick look at that in a moment. But let's check out the easy settings. As you can see, things are broken down into a couple of different sections. Your WordPress core, so your posts, your post meta, users, comments, and so on. Your tables, that's your database tables. Your settings and your logs to give you some basic settings you can tweak and customize. And then finally, if you jump up to the pro or premium version, then you can pop your license inside here and unlock all of the additional features that are included in the pro version. So let's jump back into the WordPress core. Inside here, you can see your posts, your post meta, and so on. They have various different parts. So your revisions, auto drafts, deleted posts, and so on. Then we can take a look at the count for any of those inside our database. So you can see I've got no revisions inside here. I've got one auto draft and one deleted post. Now, the cool thing about this is you've got this little magnifying glass that we can click and open this up and find some more information out about it from our database. So the ID, in this case of the auto draft, the date, some of the content, and we can browse this. The title, status, and so on. And if you've got a lot more, you can see you can step through these, the various different pages. So that's pretty cool. You can check it before you remove or delete anything at all. Same thing goes for things like your deleted post. You can click, take a look at the details, and you can see there's the details about that deleted post. If we move down to the post meta, you can see the same kind of things going on here, your information icon and so on, the count. You can preview these and you can refresh, or you can choose to delete that information stored inside that particular section. Before we move on, let's take a moment to have a message from today's video sponsor, Omnisend. Now, if you're looking for solid email marketing platform for your e-commerce store, look no further than Omnisend. Getting started is an absolute breeze. They offer some of the most affordable pricing on the market, and you can start with their free plan and experience premium features without spending a penny. It's the best quality to cost ratio you'll find anywhere. Now, if you're worried about switching from your existing provider to Omnisend, they remove the usual migration stress by handling your flows, lists, and forms for you, making the switch straightforward and hassle-free. If you need help, rest assured, with Omnisend's award-winning customer support, you're always a priority. It's available 24/7, 365 days a year, and you'll get a response in less than 3 minutes, making you feel valued and important. Now, don't just take my word for it. Omnisend is a top-rated platform. With unbeatable pricing, powerful features, and exceptional support, the reviews speak for themselves. If you're ready to elevate your email marketing game, Omnisend is here to help. You could try Omnisend today and discover why they're the best choice for your e-commerce business. With unbeatable pricing, powerful features, and exceptional support. Link in the description down below. So lots of info inside here. Jump over into the tables section, and you can see this will show us all the database tables inside our WordPress database. As you can see, we've got 15 results here, but you may have a lot more if you've got more plugins installed. Now, speaking of plugins, if we take a look at these tables, you can see we've got our standard WordPress things like options, post meta, posts, and so on. But you'll see we have some that say unknown. These are generally tables created by plugins, so you can actually associate that particular database table with a particular plugin. So in this example, this is for Fluent Player Pro. So I can say assign a plugin. I can choose the plugins from my list. So in this example, we're going to say Fluent Player Pro and click assign. So we can now see what data inside that database table is associated to outside of the WordPress core functions. It's quite useful, especially if you work in a team where you hand this off to other people and they may not know what the plugin relates to. Or you may have options where you actually hide the plugins and you give access to this. You can kind of see how they're connected up. So that's pretty cool and quite useful. Your settings and your logs, if we come inside here, there's a bunch of settings in here. So with the free version, there's not a lot of settings. You get some extra ones with the pro or premium version. So things like the age threshold, the WordPress core. So whether you want to auto refresh the counts for the information from your WordPress core and so on. So there's some useful options here. But now let's jump over into the Pro or Premium version. So if we enable this option, this now opens up more sections inside here. So we still got our WordPress core, but we now break things down into post types. So if you've got things like advanced custom fields, meta fields, or something like that installed, you create your own custom post types, they'll be listed here. And again, you can connect up the plugins and things that are being used in these custom post types and so on. So for example, you can see there's a bunch here that are to do with build areas, and they say it is unknown, where we can click and we can choose what we want to associate that with. So build areas, assign it, it updates, and now we can see what that's associated with. Again, you can delete from inside here. So you may install a plugin, stop using it, uninstall it, and it still leaves data in your database. Well, you can remove that information if you're no longer using that plugin. Obviously, be careful here. Make sure you take a backup and make sure there's nothing that you've uninstalled that's still being used on your site. Your table options is still inside here. Again, all that same data. Your options are set up inside here, and again, you can see it tells us when they're blue, it's assigned to something, in this case, WordPress core. When they're red, it doesn't know. So Fluent Player, again, we can assign this inside here. And we can see what that's associated with. Again, you can see you've got the little icon, so we can click on this and find out what data is being stored inside there. So that's pretty cool. So if you want to check the data out without having to use something like to actually go into your database itself, you can absolutely access that from here. So for example, we've got all this stuff here. I have no idea what this is associated with, so I may want to check that out. And we can take a look. It's to do with Fluent Player, so we can see that's connected up to that. So we could now say, let's assign that. Assigned. Job done. So you can see how that all works. It's pretty simple and straightforward. There's nothing complex here. Then you've got your post meta, and you can obviously change this to user meta if you want to. And there's all your information to do with your users, all information to do with your posts. Any cron jobs you have set up will be listed here, and again, showing you what they're used by. Any custom queries, nothing inside here, but you can add a custom query yourself. And then your settings and your logs are also inside here as well. Then, if you want to clean everything, you can use the auto clean, or you can come back and you can choose what you want to clean yourself. So you could say, well, we don't need the auto drafts. Let's just get rid of those. You can click the little trash can. That will now remove those. You can see there's none left there. And you can also change what mode you want to work in. This is set to auto, but you can set this to be manual if you want to. So this will never be done automatically. And you can also say you want to change things over into never. So if you have data inside you never want to remove on a clean or anything, you can set that so it doesn't get removed. So this is a really, really simple overview of what this plugin offers, but it is something that I would recommend taking a look at if you want to keep your database in tip-top condition. But as I said at the top of the video, please do make sure that before you do anything, you back up your entire website and make sure all of that is in place and tested before you run a database clean. And if you want to find out more information about how to use this and a lot more detail than I've gone into in this video, be sure to check out David McCann's video in the details down below. And if you enjoyed this kind of content and you want to be kept up to date with all of the Friday freebies as they're released, make sure you go down, hit that thumbs up button to tell YouTube you like it, hit the subscribe button to be notified, and you will be notified when new content is released. As always, my name is Paul C. This is WPTuts, and until next time, take care.